Full testing on the new TaylorMade P Series irons. Let's get to work.
Right guys, P7 Series 2023 TaylorMade. We're going to do a little bit of testing today with Mike from GolfWad. What we're looking at is last year's MC against this year's MC. For me, the only difference is a little bit of visual. The head is slightly smaller this year and a little bit that is shown in the back cavity here. Apart from that, there's no difference. Let's get into some numbers and see what we create. So what we're looking here, Mike, from last year's is I'm seeing slightly more spin, ever so slightly more spin, and back to it in that little bit higher on peak height. Whereas last year was looking at being at 120 throughout the bag and a 6 iron being about 6.5 spin. So we're looking for that 17 launch, 6.5 spin, 120 peak height for me. Transformers, let's go optimal, 188, 188. Once again, I still see it slightly underspinning now. There you go. Spin lock. It's just popping up, do you not feel like it's popping up a little bit more than yours? As in numbers,
Yeah, I've been hitting a lot of that. Yeah, so it's quite a big deal. First impressions, very similar. Obviously a different finish on the face. Depends what you like. I mean, I'm quite a big fan of the chrome or the raw. This is somewhere in between, but you can see the quality on the face. A little bit less length heel to toe, so it's got a little bit more of a boxy feel to it. I quite like that. Feels really good. Ball's flying pretty well. We're going to test it out. We're going to keep down on it. We're going to try out the LS, another shaft that I've used before, but specs pretty much stay the same. Then we're going to test against the MB first. There's some big changes to that one this year, I think. And then the 770. It's going to be really interesting. Club speed.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's about stock, right?
Yep. So
7 down, digging.
7 down, digging, mid. I prefer that one for you. 120 peak height is what we've always tried to get to you. We're wanting the 16, 17 launch, but the spin loft is much better on there. So it's just talking about getting down steeper and taking away what we talked about, a little bit of weight they have behind that sole.
Yeah.
Getting deeper on it. So we'll see what it'll be. Surprised to see what an MB does.
I think so, yeah. We're just talking a little bit more on the trail side of the sole. Maybe with the mat, had to get a little steeper to actually bring that flight down. So we saw that there, kind of more towards my number, 6.6 spin, just over the 190 carry. That's pretty much a stock 7. But yeah, let's try the MB.
Right, Mike, into the P7 MB, a massive 1mm smaller than last year's model. It's a forged blade. Let's be honest, there's not much more we can do about this. It's all about you hitting the ball. For you in this, I want to see a little bit more height, which I think will give us a little bit more of that turf interaction without having to get down to 7. There we go. Yeah. Launch up, spin down. This is what everybody can't make. You get that launch up, you get that interaction with the sole and the turf, get that launch up there, that peak height brings that spin right down. Oh, actually, surprisingly, well, I don't see any distance losses, right? I see better launch at times, I see better floor interaction, I see a better club.
Yeah. This feels better. Actually feels way better. I hit last year's MB, but it did not really have any speed whatsoever. But this year, feels like there's a little bit more weight right in the center of the club. It's a little bit of a heavier hit, even being a blade. So in terms of that, I like the look of it, less offset, small head, generally, my ball striking is pretty good, so I'm not really concerned about that. The feel is better, and actually the numbers are stacking up better as well. So that's a winner. We might tweak that a little strong, see how the numbers go. We're also now going to jump into the 770 and see the other side of what these clubs can do.
Hey, look at outcome on this. Bad shot.
Yeah,
Was it a bad shot?
yeah, one middle.
But look at the outcome.
Like that.
So a bad shot for you is 4 yards better in the air, right? 400 better spin, 2 feet better loft, 2 degrees of better loft and perfect peak out on a bad shot. It's a no-brainer, absolute no-brainer. Yeah, but is it?
That's still alright, isn't it? Just a bit thin.
So it finned it, didn't get what he wanted out of it. In his spin, it's still better, because I know when he's out on the course, he overspins. So that, for me, it's a no-brainer. I think we go this year, let's go big, let's go strong lofted, 770s, 6 iron. 6 ends of wedge, no more needed. That's good. That's good. What have you gained in numbers in theory out of a good strike? So you've hit one what you said was a bad strike, one what you said was a thin, and one what you pured, and you've got 0 difference.
Yeah, we stick it back in the stands and absolutely drill it. Sounded good.
But look,
Yeah.
there's generally no reason to. If you're going to go and play and you want to score and you want to put a card in, why wouldn't you put that in your bag?
Be good fun. And to be honest, for the first time, the look of it is more like a player's iron. I played the TCB not long ago, and to be honest, the top line is probably about the same. The length is about the same, so it's not a crazy game improvement iron. And it actually feels better. We'd need to see how the turf interaction is, but with a wider sole, I tend to like to get into the ball pretty steep. But once you take it too strong, we're going to take some of that bounce off it immediately. So, yeah, 7-9 could be a new 6-9.
Clarify what Mike said. I'm then going to just relieve all this here, all this rounded toe edge here, and take a little bit of more of that forgiveness away from him and just make it more of a player's iron. Definitely in the bag. Let's go. You're a paying customer, you've come here, done your full fitting, right? You're hitting that, and I'm showing you your good shot, your bad shot, your numbers are absolutely brilliant, but you're a player and you want to be in a blade. Now you need to tell me why you want to be in a blade over that. Is it a better feel in a blade? Does it feel any better?
Feels different.
Because it gives you more feel in a blade, doesn't it? But is it enough to justify not having that forgiveness?
Ooh, that's a lot. It really depends what you want to get out of it, right? The blade had a little bit more immediate feedback in terms of it felt like the CG was right behind the ball. It was solid. You probably knew what it was going to do. This one obviously has got more technology, so it's not a driving iron, but it's definitely got more pop off the face. Obviously, it's got more technology. Yeah, you got the foam in there, so it's shooting off. I think in terms of strike, feel, and performance, I could 100% play these. I think it'd take a little bit more time on the course just to ensure that we hit those windows, we hit the numbers, and we don't get the odd one that jumps and goes 30 through the back, which is possible.
4 to 9, 770s, proper wedge.
Oh, it has to be 4 to wedge, 5 to wedge.
No, you have a 46 to 50.
I know, but the pitching wedge would be 40.
40, it's 44, so it'll be 42. Should be right, 46.
Yeah, so get 5 to wedge, then stack the wedges.
Yeah, that's the way. You don't need a 4. At least I know why I'm paying £20 for the best glue in the game. We glued that up 10 minutes ago, and now he's at 134 ball speed, and it hasn't moved an inch. MB, too strong, 33 degrees.
Quick test.
That was good. That was real good. Yeah, distance is down, but you're expecting that, aren't you? And you've lost all your forgiveness. But once again, though, the height and everything's brilliant. I feel the spin loft has come down. That's the one I've noticed out of this. You look, spin loft's come down massively, like 2 degrees. Tell you what though, that's what happens with one of them. When you lose a little bit of that offset and turf interaction when you strengthen a blade up, because your peak height's terrible when you don't catch it.
Yeah.
That's ground interaction, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I prefer playing off turf, really.
It ain't any better than that.
Okay.
Yeah, but look at that. 182, 182, 183, 193. Right, good, bad, the ugly, whatever you want to call it. P770, built stronger, built in your same shaft, built ready. You hit 5 shots between 196 and 199. All good and bad. That's the difference, isn't it?
Yeah. Feel based, this is pretty dialed in, but really, somewhat it's a toss up. Do you want to make the game harder for yourself? Do you need that side of things based on what this gives you comparatively? I'm not sure. Do you also then go to 770? And basically, the deal then is that your 7 iron is actually your 6 iron, and you're just mixing up numbers. All right, so it depends what it comes down to. That 770 looks good. Give me that 770 back.
That was fast. Fast.
That's a shot, man. I'll take it 12 launch, because I can manage that all day.
Take away this.
Yeah.
In turf, you go up 2 or 3 degrees. Spin.
I'm going to play with that, I can use that.
212 yards.
See right there, don't feel any better than that. I can chase it, I can try and hit it low. Like I said, 7 iron might not be a 7 iron anymore. We've got more speed, we've got a stack of forgiveness. I mean, I just hit a stack of shots all over the face. Nothing dropped lower than what the MC or the MB carried anyway. And they were all good shots, they're all hitting the target, even at 200 yards. Extra forgiveness, I've always played blades. Last year I went to the cavity, I've tried the TCB, but this thing, it looks pretty cool, it feels great, and to be honest, it's not too big to go play. So, the size isn't too big, some of the iron shots are gonna be pretty big though. So, right now, 770, we're sitting good, we're gonna totally change up the bag, what clubs we have in there, lots of different options, lots of different ways to play. This was a fitting. If you're gonna go into the new TaylorMade irons, MB is the best for control. If you want that immediate feedback out the middle, get the MB. Maybe overlook the MC. And if you really want to just jack up your game, hit it good and have an iron that feels good, looks good, and performs unlike anything else, 770 looks to be the way. All right, appreciate you checking out the video. Thanks to Steve at Tour Issue Golf. Head over, check out everything that we do, guys. All right, get down to the studio if you're over here in the UK, and then subscribe to the channel, tell your friends, get the app, golf strong.